Here where we were talking October 7th, we reviewed performance. So we talked about performance issues. We've gone over that before, talking about how much memory, clock speed, etc., etc. And we've also talked about storage. Okay, we reviewed hard disk, flash technology, and some type of optical, like a DVD and so forth. So we have magnetic storage, flash, and optical. That storage can be local. We can store it on a device locally, or we can store, that would be like on your tablet or on your laptop or on the PC you're currently working on. Or we can store it to a network. We can have someplace in a local area network. For example, they might have a letter. They might say the U drive, and it's somewhere in that can be accessed locally. Or we can store it in the cloud, and there's lots of options. I talked about Dropbox and Google, but there's other options in storing it there. Then we went into input. How do we interface with the device? Okay, we can type on some type of keyboard. The keyboard could be on a screen. It could be anywhere. We have pointing devices like a mouse, trackball, in which we move a cursor on the screen and then click. We have being able to touch the devices, touch the screens, and so forth. Similar to this tablet in which I'm doing this work on, I'm using my little device here, or my finger, and I'm drawing and marking these things. So, we have all kinds of ways of getting information into that computer. Scanning to get information in, we can scan magnetic strips, we can scan barcodes. Both of those can give us some type of a number that the computer then can use. We can optical character recognition. We can try to read the characters and input that way. There's all kinds of security ways in which you can slide your finger across something. You could look at your facial image, your retinas for your eye, a handprint, and so forth. Okay? We can scan images, pictures, and get those into a computer. Or we can scan almost any type of document and so forth and create an image of that. Typically, usually it's a bit mapped image. Some people take barcode scanning tests, not barcodes but marks. Scanning, you might fill out a census and color in a mark, and based on that there are all kinds of other codes. You're starting to see some of the new codes that are used for smartphones and so forth. So this is a huge array of ways in which we can get information into some digital form in the computer, We can also talk to the computers. We did some examples of voice input, different types of sounds that can go into the device and the computer can interpret them. In some cases it's getting very good at interpreting your actual voice. If you speak clearly, it will look and analyze what you say and digitally create the text and then do something with the text. Alright, output. Displays. We can display information, a couple terms. Pixels, which are picture elements. The more pixels we have, the better the quality of the picture typically, and that's referred to as resolution, so much by so much. How big your screen is. They're making very good screens, especially flat panel type screens nowadays that have a very good image and on a very large screen size. So if you have a large screen with a high resolution in which you have lots of pixels, you can have a very good looking display. There's a whole array of graphics capabilities based on your display. Some displays might be much more expensive depending on what you need them to do, and then there's also ways inside the computer to have graphic cards and so forth to remove the processing issues from the main processor and having them on a graphics card in order to display things. Projectors, very popular. You can take the image from your computer and project it on a wall, a screen, and so forth. Printing nowadays with laser printers and inkjet printers seem to be popular, and the big difference here, inkjet printers, they spray ink on a piece of paper, a laser puts the image on a drum and then rolls the paper past the drum. The lasers, even though they may cost more, they might be more cost effective if you're producing a lot of copies, because in an inkjet the ink can be costly, whereas the cartridge in a laser printer you might be able to get way more, at least black and white copies, for way less cost than just inkjet. And then for making blueprints, printing posters, printing banners, and so forth, there's a wide range of different types of, I'm just going to use plotters, in which paper comes through it in a big, big sizes, and you can draw a blueprint, or you can print a poster, and so forth. Computers nowadays have audio, speakers, headphones, in which you can hear information from the computer. And that is it for this.